What's up, YouTube? In this episode, we are going to strip my truck down to nothing and get it ready for the Crown Vic swap. Alright, well, we got everything on this side disconnected. That all looks good. I've got all that wiring just kind of held up there with a strap, so just got to get going on this side and then disconnect the radiator and the tranny lines, and should be about ready to take everything off. Alright, so I have all the electrical disconnected on both sides. Radiator hoses are off. Tranny line down there is disconnected. Started loosening up the front clip, took those bolts out. And now, if you can see down there, look at that. There's supposed to be a bolt right here, and this is just full of rust. So that's what's next. Alright, well, we've got all the bolts out. Let's see if we can get that front clip off. So we got it sitting on 2 retaining wall blocks here. Since we didn't pull the radiator, needed to make sure we weren't going to crush the fender or anything, because I am replacing the radiator support, but the fenders I need those. If you need to remove any cab mount sleeves, so there's a top sleeve and a bottom sleeve, and the best way to do that is put a bolt in there. They tend to rust together, and just hit the crap out of it. So right now, draining the power steering fluid. We pulled the carb off, took a lot of pictures of that. Basically just disconnecting any vacuum, electrical connections, labeling everything, taking a lot of pictures. Well, still working on tearing the truck down. Right now I'm trying to get the last header bolt off, and it's kind of rusted in place. I don't know if you can see it, it's right where that wrench is. And there's only 2 bolts holding this on, holding that header on, instead of 3 on this side. And on the other side, it was just totally rusted off, so I guess less work for me. Yeah, we pulled the carb off last night, and there's only 3 bolts holding that on, which is great. And I'm looking at all these headers, and there's mismatch hardware everywhere. Those 2 are different. There's a couple more back there that are different. So yeah, the guy who owned this before me was just great. So after looking at this a little bit closer, I've decided that I need to take the header off on this side at least. I don't think the header's going to clear this engine crossmember here. I am pulling these off with it just because it's easier, I think. But yeah, the header goes down there to go around the starter, so I don't think there's going to be enough room. On the other side, the header is up a little bit higher, so I think it'll clear, I hope. So I just have 2 bolts left, 2 header bolts left on this side, right there. This has been really nerve-wracking for me, just because I've never pulled heads off before, or headers, and I'm just really worried about breaking a bolt because I don't have the tools to extract the bolt or drill a new hole and everything. So yeah, this is pretty nerve-wracking. Alright guys, time to cut some rivets. There's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 on each side. For the best way to do this is just cut an X in each rivet and then file the head off with an air chisel and then punch it out with an air hammer or a punch. So let's get cracking. Got that cut. Let's try and chisel it off. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't want to move. Well, after some struggling, we've got that upper one out. Still working on this one. Don't think I was using the air hammer correctly, or when I was trying to punch it out, but I figured that out. So yeah, still working our way. I definitely recommend getting some earmuffs for these, and probably a face shield, safety glasses, gloves, just all the safety stuff. Well, we're working on this side now. I've already got those 3 chiseled off. I sharpened up Cody sharpened up the bit, and that helped quite a bit. This one right here, I was only able to put 1 cut in it. I couldn't do an X, and it worked pretty good on the other side. And there's one more right here, which I got an X in. That should come off pretty easy. And then there's one more right here, which is going to be almost impossible to do. I'm not really sure how I'm going to be able to do that one. I can't even cut it with this thing in the way. And I had to cut that off because this nut is rounded off. So yeah, well, get back at it. Making some progress removing all the brackets that were riveted on. Didn't film a whole lot of it just because it was stressful and a lot of work and took quite a few hours. Big shout out to Cody, Jake, and Dave for helping me with that. I definitely couldn't have got it done without them. I've got a few more rivets left. I've got this one right here on the brake line bracket. And then I've got two more on each of these radius arm brackets that I need to take off still. It's a lot of work, and it's really not possible without air tools. So I would pick up an air chisel. But yeah, we're just about ready to cut the cross member. Once I get that stuff off, I'm just going to weld a bar across, and then we're going to cut it. Alright, Jake's got the brace welded in. I've already cut a little notch right here, and it's time to start cutting. Hang on, you got it. Alright guys, I'm going to call it for this video. We've got the suspension stripped off, the cross member cut out, and I jacked up the Crown Vic just to take a look at it. Huge thank you to Cody and Jake over here for helping. Please subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.